Oh hey guys, gonna bring back Spawn the Creeper's Forge, because that's what I'm known for, right? Except I cannot do it exactly as it was before. I mean, we have the AdventureCraft engine, we have the Minecraft engine working together, and I only had to create a map for it. This time I have to create the engine and the map and learn Unity as well as I'm going along, right? As I'm growing my engine out of this thing. But because, I'm using Unity, it's fairly easy to get into what I'm doing to help me out. So I definitely expect that. And instead of calling this the Creeper's Forge as I create this project, I'm gonna call it the Field of Creepers. Now the name of the changing of the name is because I'm gonna have to change the gameplay. As I say, it's really hard to deal with the engine. I would have to create mobs, I would have to create items and how they work. Instead, I will change the formula a little bit to fit my needs. But the game is still supposed to be fairly long to complete. In fact, I will try not let people complete the game like at all, in a way. Yes, there's going to be a boss fight. There's impossible to reach. It's kind of like a Candy Crush scenario where there are so many levels, it's just impossible to complete the game. And the question is really how far can you get, not whether you can complete it or not. That's kind of where I'm going for. But basically, it's Minesweeper, except with the formula of Spawn the Creeper's Forge. And the previous formula was that you do some kind of tasks and you progress through areas because you have collected resources, you have sold those resources, you have managed what you eat, how long you sleep, and all that stuff. There's going to be less management in a way of that, but you will have to gather resources. It's going to be kind of a different kind of Minesweeper, obviously. Also, it's going to be in 3D, but the Minesweeper is kind of like the core where you put these circles together and encircle some kind of a... Oh god, it's out of focus again. Why are you torturing me like this? But you encircle some kind of a truth in the middle, and you know for sure that that's a mine right there. Right there, that's a mine. And you can gather that. You're either gonna get yourself some resources, or you're gonna find yourself an actual mine, an actual creeper. And you'll be prepared for it, because you have encircled it properly. But possibly you'll be able to gather randomly, and maybe you're gonna get some hidden resources or something, but at the same time it's a very risky thing to do. Let's say you get desperate and you really need resources, so you'll start just randomly gathering instead of buying tools that will give you these kind of circles, right? In Minesweeper, you don't really play it exactly that way. You just flag the mines and all that. In this case, you'll be placing blocks and you're going to get the value. Let's say there are 2 blocks of resources around this block that you have placed in a 3D space. So in a 3D space, there will be 26, not just 8 blocks of information that the block is going to check. So this is the basic tool that you'll be using. Right, you're going to place a block in whatever space, and let's say there is a field of mines, whatever the structure is. You're placing a block and it's checking into these directions. And again, there are 26 directions that you can check into. However, you'll only be able to check 25 maximum, because how are you going to place a block in the middle of other blocks? That's impossible. So anyways, you're going to place that, and you're going to check how many resources there are. Let's say you find 2. So you don't know where they are, you don't know anything. You're just kind of gathering information and slowly coming to a conclusion where those resources are and where you can gather them. But these are tools, you have to buy them. And the more you buy them, I'm gonna make the same economy as Spawn the Creeper's Forges. The more you buy a certain type of tool, the more expensive they get. So you have to kind of keep the variety up, keep your strategy up, make sure that you don't rely on something too much. At the same time, again, you'll be able to just randomly gather resources without using these tools, so to speak. And yeah, that's, I mean, if you check like there are 2 resources, you can just randomly gather them without thinking that there are mines. You can specifically check, are there mines in here, let's say, and that will be possibly a lot cheaper. So you have to figure out which methods are going to be cheaper for you, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a puzzle, it's a resource management puzzle. That's what Spawn the Creeper's Forge kind of stands for, is a resource management core formula. So the core gameplay is going to be Minesweeper, right? And you're progressing, you are gathering, I say experience, but you're gathering resources, you sell. You might gather some valuable resources as well, not just mines. The mines are the creepers. It's called the Field of Creepers now. So you might be able to get some gold blocks or something, some kind of valuable resource as well. But instead of, again, creating items where specifically you have to buy an axe and chop a tree, instead you're going to be using these tools and find the resources and gather those that way. The resources can be random, I suppose. I can create simple textures for flowers, for wood, for some kind of ores that are valuable. So you'll be able to sell those. It's kind of, if you have played Motherlode, it's also a good example of what it inspires me to keep going with the Spawn the Creeper's Forge formula, which is, it's very fun stuff. Anyways, so again, I have no intention of making the game easy to complete. As you progress through areas, the first few areas are easy to grind. You get very little value from those, however, but there is no risk involved, right? And then as you progress, you increase the risk, the difficulty increases, but you also get rewarded much more. So as you increase the risk by going from area to area, you can complete the game faster if you grind difficult areas, and grinding easy areas, they will deplete at some point, right? They have limited amount of resources, so they will deplete at some point, and it gets boring. So you kind of slowly develop your strategy for how to grind these things and how to progress, how to use tools. So it's very interesting to just play around and see how you can manage more and more efficiently. That's kind of the direction that I like to go in. It's very simple to combine a puzzle game with resource management. So I think I picked up the most simple concept that is the most amount of fun to play, and that's what I'm gonna be doing for 6 months. Obviously, because I have to do a job, guys. Still, even though I have this amazing flashy engine, I can't really easily promote it or get paid for it. Right now, there is just so much cancer on the internet. They don't understand what is valuable these days. So I do have to have a job. Instead of working 3 months on the project like this, I'll work 6 months just to make sure, it's completed. And again, it's very simple idea. Very simple task that you will be doing. I don't have to program fishing. I don't have to program woodcutting and different tool levels of damage that they do for different things. Like, that is kind of annoying, and in a way it introduces such an interesting gameplay where you don't just have very simple tools, you actually have very complicated ones. Let's say these mines check in different directions, or they have different range for how they check, or they just check whether there are mines or not, and they cause different amount of value. And especially if you buy more and more, the value gets increased, because it's very hard to produce these things, these tools. So anyways, that's kind of the idea I thought I would share, because it's really interesting, and you guys can warm up to the fact that, yep, I have to bring up the most valuable thing that I built in the past. I have to bring it up and recreate it, because it's really important, in a way to test my skills again, to prove myself that, yeah, I can do that. I can bring back the old project, and it's kind of the whole thing that inspires me to keep the tag of Spawned in the first place. So yeah, that's where the video ends. See you guys as I progress through implementing this idea. Oh yeah, it is gonna be difficult. Really hard. So yeah, you gotta be a very good resource manager to get through this. Again, I'm not sure if I'll be able to complete it myself. I have to make sure it's really hard on these high-end areas. Obviously, if you grind enough and you figure out a way to waste your time with the game, I guess you'll be able to jump into the boss fight, I suppose. But then I'll just make achievements and you won't be able to complete it anyways, because it will be, oh, you have to grind the entire really hard stage. I don't know. I'll make something up. Yeah, you'll be able to tell all the completionists out there, don't play this game, please. Please, guys. Please don't press that button. Jeez, what are you doing with your lives? I don't want to trap them in an infinite Tsukiyomi. Are you kidding me? Maybe I do.